on, everybody? It's Aurora, coming at you with a brand new video, and it looks like we got a brand new reveal tonight. Unfortunately, nothing out of Rage of the Abyss, still holding out for that mermail support, but we did get some Performage cards revealed out of Animation Chronicles 4, which is interesting. Performage isn't something I've really been thinking about, but I guess Konami's been slowly giving more and more love back to Pendulum, so I suppose we'll see if this lives up to its former glory, but I highly doubt that. But anyway, starting off, we have Performage Fire Dancer. It's a level 4 fire spellcaster pendulum, scale 6, with 1400 attack and 1200 defense. With the pendulum effect saying once per turn, you can target a Performage monster you control. This turn, it does piercing battle damage. And its monster effect says you can only use the first effect once per turn. If it's normal or special summon, you can add a Performage monster from your deck to your hand, except a Fire Dancer. And if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a face-up monster on the field and it loses 500 attack. I'm gonna be brutally honest, I really don't know much about the game plan about Performages overall. I know they do stuff with like burn and stuff, and I think they have some stuff doing with popping their own things, in which case, I mean, cool, it does trigger that effect. Also, being able to add a Performage on summon seems pretty good. Next up is Performage Water Dancer. It's a level 4 water spellcaster pendulum, 1200 attack and 1400 defense, scale 2, and you can only use the first and second effect of the pendulum effect once per turn. If you control a Performage monster, you can special summon this card. That definitely shouldn't... Oh, wait, no, it's in this scale. Wait, it's in the scale. I don't know. I was thinking about it being in the hand or something. I was so confused. But yeah, if you control a Performage, you can special summon this card from your scale. And when a monster declares an attack, you can target an attack position monster on the field and change it to defense position. Also, for the monster effect, you can only use the first effect once per turn. On Pendulum Summon, you can add a Polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if it's destroyed by battle or card effect on the field, you can target an attack position monster and change it to defense. I suppose this is meant to work alongside Fire Dancer's piercing battle damage thing, which is pretty interesting. And adding a Polymerization is kind of weird. I didn't think they had any fusions, so they must get some now. But that probably involves punching really hard against something in defense position, which is pretty cool. Also, like I said, this is pretty cool as well. Also, this can help you go into Beyond the Pendulum or, you know, Electromite when we finally get it back. Next up is Performage Wind Drainer, or Wind Sucker, according to this translation. It's a level 5 wind spellcaster pendulum, with 200 attack and 0 defense, with a scale of 4, and a pendulum effect that says you can once per turn you can target a Performage pendulum you control to activate one of these effects. Either reduce its level by 1 or increase this card's pendulum scale by that monster's. Its monster effect says you can only use the first effect once per turn. If your opponent controls a monster or a Performage is on the field, you can special it from your hand, and if you do, well, you cannot special summon monsters while this card's on the field, except Performage. If it's special summon, you can reduce its level by 1, and once per turn, you can change the levels of all level 4 Performage monsters you currently control to 5. You got some pretty sick level modulation there, or scale modulation, while also being able to get a free level 4 body on board just by having a Performage or from your opponent controlling a monster. So I guess the idea is to like not let you go into things like Beyond super easily because of that, but clearly you're going to be using it to go into what, like Trapeze Magician, I think is the Performage rank for, or you know, maybe something else, but that is still pretty neat. The last new main deck monster is Performage Cup Tricker. Is a level 5 light spellcaster pendulum, 1200 attack, 1400 defense, with a scale of 1. Its pendulum effect, says you can only use each effect once per turn. You can target a Performage Xyz you control and attach this card to it as material. And if a card is added to your extra deck, you can add a face-up Performage pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Its monster effect says you can only use each effect once per turn. If it's in your hand, you can target an Xyz on the field, detach a material from it, and if you do special this card, then an Xyz on the field loses 600 attack. And if this card is detached from an Xyz monster and sent to the graveyard to activate that monster's effect, you can target 2 Xyz monsters you control and attach one material from one and attach it to the other. Well, that was the word attach like a billion times in one card, but I mean, it seems like it's pretty cool to get that additional material on the Performage Xyz monster. Also, I really like this effect for getting you some extra recursion as well, though I don't even really remember all that much what Trapeze Magician does, so this could end up being like a bit of a nothing burger, or it could be really cracked. Their new fusion is Performage Trapeze Witch. It's a level 7 dark spellcaster fusion with 2400 attack and 1800 defense that requires 2 Performage monsters. Your opponent cannot target Performages you control with card effects or destroy them by card effects. Your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for an attack while you control a Performage monster other than her. And when an attack is declared involving your Performage and an opponent's monster, you can make that opponent's monster lose 600 attack. Seems like a pretty sick way of getting some protection on your stuff, especially from hand traps like Veiler and Imperm or Ghost Mourner. And also, it's going to be really annoying to kill. You've also got some decent stats even if you can start swinging at it. And it makes things lose 600 attack, and that isn't a once per turn. Doesn't seem that bad. Their first of 2 new Xyz, as it looks like, is Performage Shadowmaker. It is a rank 5 dark spellcaster Xyz with 2600 attack and 1000 defense that requires 3 level 5 monsters, and you can only use the first and third effects of this card's name once per turn. You can attach 1 material from this card and send a Performage from your deck to the graveyard to add 1 rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand. That's interesting. And when a card or effect is activated that targets this card quick effect, you can attach a material from this card to special summon a Performage Shadow Maker from your extra deck. Oh, so another copy of itself, interesting. And if the last material is detached from this card, you can special summon a Performage monster from your graveyard. So this definitely went to work with the Cup Tricker earlier by detaching a material from this one to attach it to the other one, and then trigger this to get some other stuff there. You can get double dumps, actually no, never mind, you can't, I'm sorry. This is a hard once per turn, so you can get double dumps and double rank up magic, that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, but you can end up going into like a Draco Future or something. Doesn't seem too bad, though. I'm not sure how consistently they can get out rank 5s. Their final new monster is Performage Trapeze High Magician. It's a rank 5 light spellcaster with 2700 attack and 2200 defense that requires 2 level 5 spellcasters. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while it has material. Your opponent takes any effect damage you would have taken instead. You can only apply this effect a number of times per turn up to the number of materials attached to this card. And if this card has Performage Trapeze Magician as material, it gains this effect. You can attach one material from this card and make this able to attack 3 times during each battle phase. I mean, this seems like a pretty sick boss monster. You can either hard make it or rank up into it. I'm assuming this is the new rank up that you can search off the Shadow Maker. And then making them a Trapeze Magician lets it attack a bunch of times with a decent set of stats. Plus the Trapeze Girl should be able to also help you lower stats to make it punch really hard. Also does like the piercing stuff from the earlier cards. Also, being able to burn your opponent is pretty sick too. Their final new card is Rank Up Magic Magical Force. It is a quick play that says you can only activate it once per turn, and you can target one rank 4 spellcaster exceeds in your graveyard, special summon it but negate its effects, and if you do, special summon a rank 5 spellcaster exceeds from your extra by using the first monster's material, and if you do, attach this card as an additional material, and the second special summon is treated as an exceed summon. Overall, just a solid rank up. I don't think there's anything too much to say about that. So that's going to do it for the Performage support. What do I think about it? I think it's pretty neat. I think it definitely falls into the line of Pendulum cards that are kind of like restricted a little bit, so you can't do like a bunch of generic stuff. It definitely wants you to play just other Performage things alongside it, and I think that's perfectly fine. I think a lot of these cards are actually fairly solid. I don't know too much about a lot of the older Performage cards other than, you know, I know Plushfire I think is still banned. I know that the Hat Tricker is pretty cool, and then you have like Damage Juggler and Trick Clown that can get you some free bodies and some good burn alongside the new Xyz monster. Again, I'm not too versed entirely in the archetype though, so Performage players or anyone that knows a lot more about the deck than I do, what do you think about this support? Is it going to actually make the deck pretty solid, or is it just going to be kind of eh? That being said, that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as I'll split this video and the channel into YouTube recommended. And if this content was like it, like the rest of my review series, then perhaps consider subscribing and turning on notifications, because it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. Also, you want to support me directly, we can get some awesome TCG merchandise in the process. Check out Tapio cards in the link down below. Use code Aurora5 for 5% off your purchase at checkout, and support me financially. Also, you want to support me financially and get some cool other little things here and there, like early video access and access to my PNGs and such, then check out the Patreon, also linked in the description down below. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.